Welcome back to Art Army, and we're back with another video. And today I want to talk about one of my second most favorite horror movies is coming out. Well, I don't know if I would say a remake of it, but it's basically the Cult of Chucky. And if you guys don't know what Chucky is, he's basically a doll possessed by a human soul, and the soul that possessed him is basically a serial killer. And there's like there's 7 different movies. Because I'll name all the movies. And I'll basically say what the movies are about. So there's Child's Play. Child's Play starts off introducing Chucky, and how he got the soul transferred inside his body, and yeah. So it starts off where Charles Lee Ray, and if you guys have yet to watch Child's Play, you guys want to watch it, I suggest you guys do not watch this movie. Named Chucky, and get out of the doll. And his voodoo teacher says in order for him to leave the doll, he has to transfer his soul into. So luckily enough, Charles Lee Ray told a little boy named Andy Barkley, which has got to be one of the most cutest horror kids ever. But Andy Barkley was also made, but he told Andy Barkley, and then he tries to transfer his soul into Andy Barkley, but it fails. So then we move on to a second Child's Play, where Andy Barkley is in foster care, and he gets adopted by another family, and because he's been through so much just finding about Chucky, and he goes live in another house, and then Chucky kind of rebuilds himself, and he comes back to basically do the same thing, get his soul transferred into Andy Barkley. So that all happens, and the whole movie goes on, and Chucky does everything to blame Andy, because like he smashed a statue that he statue figurine. He wrote some very nasty things on Andy's paper at school, and it was funny. But yeah, so Chucky brings him back to the Child's Play facility, factory, to hopefully try and call Chucky isn't out already? No, it's coming out on Tuesday. It fails, and then he dies again. This time in the most gruesomest way, which I love about Child's Play 2. But sorry if I'm like not speaking like the whole point of the whole movie. I'm just like trying to get through all the movies. Then there's Child's Play 3, which is the final Child's Play movie. And then it goes into the parts of the movies that have Chucky's name in it. So Child's Play 3 happens when, back in the, I heard Chucky does a porno. We're not gonna speak about that. But, Chucky does the same thing. Well, Chucky, possesses another Child's Play doll, and I think they rebuilt Chucky. I don't know. They never showed it, but they showed the creator of Child's Play. No, they showed the creator of Child's Play toys. I forget the name of the doll. Well, the creator of the dolls, Chucky doll, and Chucky is that doll. So he kills him, and he tries to find Andy Barclay so he can transfer his soul again. And Charles Lee Ray has to actually do this in a certain amount of time, or else he will stay stuck in the doll forever. So, so then, Andy goes to military school, and Chucky basically Chucky basically mails himself to the military school. And Chucky finds another kid to transfer his soul into, because the kid was basically just too nosy. So Chucky finds Andy and tells him he's not going to transfer his soul into him anymore, but another boy. And Andy tries everything to stop Chucky from doing that. So yeah, it's kind of cool, but the movie got kind of a little boring halfway, because it's just the same thing over and over again. It's like basically all three of the movies are basically the same. But at close to the end of the crap. But close to the end of the movie, Chucky brings the kid into a horror ride, and there's a giant saw. Well, no, there's like a giant fan, and Andy Barclay throws Chucky into the fan, and it demolishes him. I don't even know how they got his face back. But anyway, long story short, Chucky tried again and he failed. So this time we're gonna go into another thing that they kind of messed up on the next two movies. Well, the next movie. So anyway, we will be going to one of my most liked Chucky movies, which is Bride of Chucky. And if you guys do not know what Bride of Chucky is, I suggest you guys watching it. But just watch the other ones first. Don't just watch Bride of Chucky out of nowhere. Just watch the other ones first, so you guys know what happens. But if you guys don't know Jennifer Tilly plays Tiffany in the movie, which is Charles Lee Ray's ex-girlfriend, and she thought was soon to be wife. So she asked a cop to bring she asked the cop to bring Chucky's face, and she slits his throat. So she basically takes Chucky's torn up face back to her van, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a van. But she takes Chucky's face back to the van, and she uses other doll parts to rebuild the Child's Play toy. So it looks kind of. This is the only reason why I like Bride of Chucky, because of the fact that if you guys do not know what Bride of Chucky looks like, he has scar, like, she stapled him back together, like she stapled his face together, and it looks so cool because he has like giant scars on him, and it's like so cool, and I love it. But Tiffany falls in love with Chucky Tiffany loves Chucky even when he is in a doll form, and he says that he was never going to propose to her, to marry her, and she kind of got a little pissed off at that, so she goes out, buys him a bride doll, and taunts him, and yeah, so she puts him in a crib, and he takes the doll's ring, and he digs his way out while Tiffany's taking a bath. And so he brings the bride doll, and he electrocutes Tiffany because there's a TV in front of the bathtub. So he pushes the TV inside the bathtub and it electrocutes her. So what he does is he transfers her soul into the bride doll, and she's a little pissed off that now she's a doll and she can't be human anymore, and it's like yada yada yada. So they try so she tries to find a way on how to transfer her soul back into a human. And there's something that they messed up with Bride Chucky, which is something that I really hate. They said that they need an amulet in order to transfer her soul, in order to transfer the souls into a human body, which is so stupid because he never needed he never needed an amulet for the first 3 movies. So why do you need one for the 4th movie? But I never created the movie, so yeah. So the amulet is called the Heart of Damballa. And if you guys do not know what that is, the chant in order to transfer your soul, or in order to in order to transfer your soul into something, it's Ade Dewey Damballa, give me the power I beg of you, yada yada yada. I don't know the rest of the chant, I just know Ade Dewey Damballa. But Damballa is in the chant, and the Heart of Damballa is supposedly the only way for them to transfer their souls into a human, which is so stupid. Again, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, he says the amulet was buried with him at a cemetery, which never even happened, of course, because in the first movie he never even had an amulet. So they go to New Jersey. Hold up. So they go to New Jersey, and they try and possess this cute couple. It fails, but anyway. But before they left, Tiffany basically fixes that bride doll, which was basically a doll that had really short hair, but it was like tied up. So she lets down her hair, she dyes her hair blonde, and she basically fixes herself, and she basically turns herself into the doll. So like she gets like the same tattoo that she had on her one boob, and it said Tiffany, I think it said Tiffany. So she draws the same tattoo on her boob, on the doll. So they go to New Jersey, and it fails because the couple finds out that they're alive, and the guy who's friends with Tiffany knows who Tiffany is. So of course that doesn't go out. That doesn't go well. So at the end of the movie was one which Chucky is kicked inside his grave as soon as they find the Heart of Damballa, and he's running around like so funny. I love that part of the movie, and this is why I love this movie. And then she aims a cop's gun at him because there was a cop there, and she steals the gun and aims at Chucky. One of my most favorite lines from Chucky now is he says, "Go ahead and do it. I always come back." Yeah, go ahead and do it. I always come back. But dying is such a bitch. It's funny because I love that line from Chucky. But anyway, she kills him, and then and I missed the point in the movie, which I wanted to miss this, but in the movie they had a doll sex scene. But they only showed the shadows, so cool, we didn't see 2 dolls have sex. But at the end of the movie, Tiffany's dead itself gives birth to a baby doll, and you guys will figure out what happens to that baby doll and Seed of Chucky. Yeah, I said Seed of Chucky. Again, she gave birth to a demon baby doll, whatever. So then we're moving on into one of the most funniest movies of all, and just didn't even give a crap anymore. So in Seed of Chucky, the baby doll was given to a puppet show artist, and he calls him Shitface because his face is messed up. So he has dreams of being a killer, and he wants to find his parents. Lucky. So he runs off to find Tiffany and Chucky, which is located in Hollywood because their bodies are now dead and they rebuilt. And apparently Hollywood has the exact same replicas of Tiffany and Chucky, and they're actually making a movie of the two famous horror killers. They're making a movie inside of a movie, which again is so funny. And one of the actresses who plays Tiffany is Jennifer Tilly, so she plays two people, and it's funny as the movie goes on because you guys will see why the movie is just laughs and hysterical. So they so Shitface, or Glenn / Glenda, finds Tiffany and Chucky, and he does the Ade Due Dambala chant, and he brings them back to life. So Tiffany and Chucky gets into this whole fight on why, like, what is he? Is he a girl? Is he a female? Because he has no parts, basically. Like, they don't know if he's a male or a female. But we know, well, I know, but you guys don't, unless you guys watch the movie. But, the movie itself is basically just laughs. It's not even supposed to be scary anymore, it's just laughs, but it has some pretty good kills. So they hitch a ride in Jennifer Tilly's limo, and they stow away in her attic. And Tiffany and Chucky basically make a rule on why they should no longer kill. That rule doesn't stand because Chucky takes Glenn out to go kill a photographer, and then Tiffany kills what they were going to use as Chucky's body, and like literally she cuts open, like she slashes at his dick and she cuts it open, and all the guts and acid comes out, and it's like super funny and cool. But later on in the movie they have to find another body. Well, in the movie they have to find another body. And then Chucky's like, at least I'm not afraid to show that I have skeletons in my closet. And that he bangs open a closet, like he hits a closet in Jennifer Tilly's room, and what happens is the guy's body flies out. So what the whole movie was about is they were trying to impregnate Jennifer Tilly's body so Glenn can have a body. Glenn / Glenda, but it's Glenn basically. So Glenn can have a body, and and it's basically a voodoo pregnancy. So it's gonna be accelerated. So they find Chucky another body, and Chucky kind of gets, and while they're trying to do the chant, while Chucky's about to do the chant, there's this whole fight, and then he just like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to be a human anymore. And he's like, and then he started talking about how he's the known slasher, on how he's Chucky the killer doll. It's so funny because I like on how he lives up to being Chucky the killer doll. So then again, the movie is just funny because it brings back other movies. So then Chucky tries to kill Tiffany because Tiffany said she's leaving him for and she's taking Glenn with her. So he gets a little pissed, so he throws a knife so he tries to throw a knife at her, but he misses, and instead it impales the guy that he was going to take over. It impales his chest. So what she does is Tiffany and Glenn goes to the hospital where Jennifer Tilly is located, and she it's kind of funny because they bring back another horror movie inside it. I forget the movie's name. The Shining. They bring back a scene from The Shining where it's in Mortal Kombat, and it's like, here's Johnny, where it's like a little space in the door, because he basically cuts the door open with an axe until like there's like a space to fit his head in. And he's like, here's Johnny, and it's in Mortal Kombat as well. But Chucky does the same thing, and he's like, I just don't know the thing to say. Fuck it. So while Tiffany is trying to hurry up with the chant, Chucky stabs her in the face, and then Glenn and Chucky gets into a fight. Then Jennifer Tilly hands Glenn the axe, and then he cuts off Chucky's arms. Yeah, he cuts off Chucky's arms, and he cuts off his legs, and then he also cuts off his head, which is one of the most greatest kills to Chucky ever. So yeah, and then the movie ends off where Tiffany is Jennifer Tilly, and how she keeps her Tiffany doll. And I was always like curious on like how. And I was always like, instead of Tiffany, the doll, but now I know why. Because I had to rewatch Seed of Chucky. But, I was always confused with that. And then I was like, really? What? But anyway, now we're moving on into the latest movie until Tuesday. The latest movie is called Curse of Chucky, which the movie starts off where Chucky is basically being mailed to this gothic mansion. I know Ava would love that, a gothic mansion. It's taking me 23 minutes to get through all 6 movies. I now just noticed that. But Chucky is delivered to this gothic mansion, and he kills his mom, and he kills this one parent because Chucky is basically played by Brad Dourif, and his daughter also plays in Curse of Chucky. And his daughter plays the daughter of a mother that Charles Lee Ray had a crush on, and he kidnapped her. So I'm gonna tell you guys later, close to the end of the movie, yeah. But anyway, the movie goes on with Chucky trying to kill all the people inside the mansion, especially his daughter. Well, Brad Dourif's daughter. You know, so cool, and it must have been weird for her to hear her father's voice calling her a bitch. It was so funny. But I basically love the movie because of the fact that they do kind of bring back some of the things that happens to Chucky, and then they kind of leave some things out of it. So the movie goes on. The Chucky kills the girl that he had a crush on, and who has the daughter of her, which is basically Brad Dourif's daughter. I don't know how to say it, but Oh wow, Cowboys and the Rams are tied right now. But anyway, Chucky continues on trying to kill the family, and it's so cool because the new Chucky doll in Curse of Chucky is so cool, and I like it. And then the way they have Brad Dourif's voice in Curse of Chucky is like so cool since he's like older now. His voice is starting to get a little different, so his voice isn't like the same Chucky that we used to know. Instead, his voice is very slow and creepy, which is what I like about Curse of Chucky. And also Curse of Chucky does bring back some, and also Curse of Chucky does bring in some horror concepts. So yeah, it's basically scarier than the rest of than all 6 of the movies combined. Which Child's Play was never supposed to be scary. It was supposed to leave you on your seat, and it was supposed to be fun, but it was never supposed to be scary. But it was supposed to be a horror movie. But Curse of Chucky became a scarier movie than all of the other ones. Because they do have a lot of jump scares in there. The house is always dark, which I love that. I love dark places. But it's basically the movie continues on, and Chucky starts killing most of the family. And he leaves the daughter alone. Yeah, so he leaves the daughter alone. The one girl. There's another girl in the movie where he tries to transfer his soul into the girl's body. Which I don't understand why a girl. I would understand a boy, because it's gonna sound a little weird when you sound like a man, Chucky. So he tries to transfer his soul into the daughter, into that little girl, and about halfway through the movie, they finally reveal Chucky's scars, from Bride of Chucky, and then Chucky scares the one girl, well, the one mother, and he basically rips off most of his face to show the rest of his scars. So then the movie continues. There's basically nothing else to talk about other than there's Chucky, and then like Chucky tries to kill everyone, and he actually does, except two people. So what happens is Chucky has one of the most awesomest kills in all of Child's Play. Well, in all the series, because Chucky takes a hatchet or an axe, whatever it is, and he axes off one, and he slams the axe onto a guy's jaw, and his jaw flies out, and all it shows is a bone and his tongue, and it was like so awesome. I love that scene. I'm probably gonna watch Curse of Chucky again, but Curse of Chucky basically brings back the whole horror aspect to Child's Play again, instead of it being just laugh and giggles. So I really hope Cult of Chucky does the same thing. I'm trying to just like hurry this up right now. So close to the end of the movie, Brad Dourif and his daughter kind of get into a little fight, Brad Dourif as Chucky. But they get into a fight, and she's paralyzed, because of Charles Lee Ray, because he stabbed the mother's stomach while she was pregnant with Nika. I just remember the name of her, but she was pregnant with Nika, and then he stabbed her stomach, and now Nika is paralyzed, so she doesn't feel a thing in her legs, which Chucky, I guess, did not know that. So then Chucky then tells her the whole story on why he loves her family the most, why he's a friend of the family. and why Nika is basically the way she is, and she tries to kill Chucky, and then Chucky, of course, frames Nika, because she has a knife. All the bodies are surrounded by her. She's the only one covered in blood and has a knife, but I don't understand why a girl in the wheelchair would do it, but it's dumb. So then, at the end of the movie, they go, Nika goes to a home to the insane, which is where Cult of Chucky takes place. And then also, Chucky mails himself to the daughter, well, to that little girl's house, grandma's house. He kills the grandma, and then he tries to transfer her soul. He tries to transfer his soul into the little girl, which I don't think works, because 6 months later, Chucky goes to Andy Barkley's house to try and kill Andy, but Andy comes out with a shotgun and shoots Chucky in the face. So then, that's basically the end of Curse of Chucky, and I'm not gonna do, I tried my best to do like a little review of all 6 movies. But yeah, if I messed up on something, just leave in the comments below. Don't send death threats or anything, just like leave in the comments below. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I would, also, if you guys are big horror fans, I do suggest you guys going out to see Cult of Chucky, which I think is going to be a better movie than Curse of Chucky. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Peace, or good days, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.